Hey, what's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Cans Pats Talk Patriots podcast. Man, I hope y'all had a good weekend, a good 4th of July. I had a pretty good weekend. Went to the fireworks on Thursday night. Then, I had to come back here tonight, starting on Monday night with a special guest of mine. That we're gonna talk some Patriots ball tonight. My boy, Patriot status man. Welcome to Cans Pats Talk, man.
How we doing, everybody? How we doing? Super excited to be here. I was gonna ask you, how was your weekend?
Pretty good. Went to the fireworks last Thursday. I actually think 4th of July is like a Patriots holiday. You know, something about those
Yeah,
colors and the blue, white. I think it's kind of like they said the Cowboys are America's team. I actually think the Patriots should be American team. I actually think the 4th of July should be a Patriots holiday, man. That's just how I feel about it, man. How did you say yours was?
it was good. Just chilling with the family. My grandmother's birthday's on the 4th of July, so got to see them. Um, we're inching closer and closer to training camp, man. So I'm looking forward to that every single day. I'm excited for this. Can't wait to get into it.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, man. Hey, this is your first time on the show, and it might not be your last, man. You have a few more opportunities out here with me, man. We are gonna let the crowd know a little bit about what we got coming on, what we got coming up in the future about you being on the show. But hey, tell everybody about yourself, man.
So I'm 18, massive, massive Boston sports fan. That's the main thing that people know about me. Patriots obviously number one. I love keeping it real, but also being optimistic about the season. I want to see growth. I'm just super excited. I'm super glad you had me on here. I'm super thankful. I just started my page like 2 months ago, Patriot status. And it's going great, man. I'm having a blast. People are showing so much support, and Pat's Nation is awesome. It really is.
Yeah, hey man, but these pages and with me being a content creator, pages you have to be consistent. You got to be consistent, man. Because once you consistent, that's when the fans gonna come. And we ain't nothing without the fans, man. I'm telling you, man. So congrats to you on that, and I strive for the best. I wish you the best with that, man.
Thank you.
Joseph, I don't want to mess up your name, Rabatino. I hope I said that right. Looking forward to this new sub, but Ken, I've watched a few of your past live screens. Love your energy and the good vibes you give out. Hey, appreciate that, Joseph. Let's see. Your
Love
partner
that.
Cloud Night also gives positive vibes. There's a football encyclopedia to have fun, guys. Love that intro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. That's a shout out to you.
That's awesome. That like right there. I just said I love Pat's Nation. That's just a few comments, but hey,
You already got 6 people in here, man. Some of my people and your people. Let's
best
see.
fan
Luke.
base in the best fan base in the country.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. What else we got? Hold on. Missing some. Think this is one. Forever Patriots, forever Luke Neely. Close enough. Love the content. Hey, yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate all the comments, man. Appreciate all the comments. Hey, man, listen, we're gonna get into the 53-man roster here shortly. But man, some of your training account storylines, man? The rookies report next Saturday, I think the 19th. So, and then I think the vets report the 23rd. What are some of your training account storylines for the page? You give yours, and I'm gonna give mine after that.
Let's do it. So, you're getting me excited. Just tell me the rookies report, and I keep remembering that. It's awesome. But yeah, I've been doing a series on my page called "Who Makes the Cut," and I think there's a few clear positions that are interesting in that regard. The last couple receivers that are going to make the roster, or left tackle, right tackle, if one who stays at tackle for that regard. I think there's a lot of potential at those positions. But again, the thing that people want to harp on the most is the receivers. People, the
Mhm.
first thing to talk about is, oh, we got no weapons, but we got a lot more potential than a lot of people think. They just don't even bother to pay attention to that because they just look at them and they're like, oh, it's just another name. But I mean, man, our receivers they're exciting if they all pan out. And we talked about this, Polk and Baker. I'm super excited for them. So my main storylines, I think the defense is solid. I'm not worried about the defense at all. No Pats fans should be. We're gonna be a top 10 unit. We always are. Um, but hey, the offense is going to be the main story of training camp, and going against our tough defense, it's going to be a good test for them, especially for the younger guys. So that's
Yes, sir.
those are my main things right there.
Yes, sir. I agree, man. One of my storylines is Christian Barmore. Just got a big contract We all know how most time players get these contracts and they go missing. I don't think Barmore's that type of guy because coming out of college, a lot of people said that he didn't have the motor. He was always hurt. He really hasn't been hurt a lot with the page. I know he missed. I think his first year he missed a little bit of time there, but this past season had a pretty good season. Getting to the quarterback, sacks, stops, and then what's more important about him? He's been more of a every down player now, stopping and run.
Yep.
He's showing a lot of progress in a lot of areas that he wasn't so good at. So he got to the quarterback a lot last year. I don't have the numbers right now with a sack. I look it up in a minute how many sacks he had, but he was a force last year, and that's why we gave him the contract. So he's one of my storylines. How does he come back after getting that contract? Another storyline, Keon White.
Yep.
We
Yep.
need him this year. Second year bump. He has to because with Judon, who knows what's gonna happen with the storyline with Judon with the contract? Is he going? We're going to trade him? Are we going to give him a boost? Are we going to extend him? What we going to do? So that's that vibes watching. Devon Gottsdall, I made a video on Friday, I believe. I think we can replace him as a defensive tackle. I don't really see a lot from him when he's on the field, but we don't have a lot of depth from him. So we're going to go out and sign somebody. So a lot of my storylines are some of these contracts that are still out there. And one more I got, Christian Gonzalez, returning from injury. He was a force last year before he got hurt. We had AJ Brown and Devontae Smith week one, did a good job. Garrett Wilson. It's funny, he was locking up CeeDee Lamb at the game I was at in Dallas, and when he got hurt, and then as soon as he got hurt,
Touchdown.
Dak Prescott went to CeeDee Lamb over Miles Bryant. So
Yep. Yep.
this season right here, like this is a lot of storylines we got. A lot of it is contract related, but we do have some other storylines at the same thing. So I like what you said about the wide receiver. Everybody wants the flashy, the wide receivers, the quarterback. I'm looking at some of these contracts and things like that. How does that play out? We've been paying everybody. Let's see what we do with these guys. We've got a couple weeks. I think Judon's gonna get some kind of pay raise or something. They're gonna handle that. We need him because we don't really have no Josh Uche, been inconsistent. Can't really allow. He's not an every down player. Keon White, he's still young, and so who knows? Who knows what's going to happen if let's just say Judon isn't there. So I think they're going to do something, make them happy, and we're going to see what happens, man.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love the Christian Barmore talk. In my personal opinion, I don't think his work ethic's gonna go down one bit. I mean, I think that guy's just a straight dog. I think he just loves playing football. And he deserved every penny that we gave him. And I think he's going to emerge and do. If you guys don't think already, I think he's going to be a top five defensive tackle in the league next year. Obviously, like I said, again, no one really looks at the Pats. The main defensive tackle talks in the AFC East are always, Quinn Williams or when Christian Wilkins was on the Dolphins. But Christian Barmore's right in that conversation, man. He's right up there with all of them. He actually had better numbers than Quinn Williams last year.
Yep.
So, I love Christian Barmore. And then Godshaw, like you said, I'm iffy on him. But yeah, the defensive tackles are interesting. We're kind of top heavy there. So I'd like to see a little bit more depth. Maybe some of the guys, maybe one of the guys we signed, like Armin Watts, maybe he steps up, but we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
Armand
see.
Watt.
Yep.
Hey, if y'all on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Give me the thumbs up on YouTube. I would really appreciate it. The more thumbs up I get, the more eyeballs I get. Give me the thumbs up on YouTube. If you watch it on LinkedIn, like, share the content and whatnot. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're at, share. But if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube man, Cam's Pats Talk. I really appreciate it. Please hit that like button. Give me the thumbs up. Uh, let's see, Diane Gillespie. I'm hoping I said it right. A new sub here. Two nice guys talking Boston sports. I love it. Yes, ma'am. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Awesome. I love it.
Sports Academy. Super excited about the post BB era. I think Coach Mayo is going to surprise everyone. Me too, Sports Academy.
I love Coach Mayo. Just
Go to
especially
Robertino
him being under
Mayo.
Belichick. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. Um. Okay, where were you? Because this is my first time I have you. I ain't had time. This is my first time really asking you about this. The draft was what, about 3 months ago. Where did you watch the draft at, and what was your reaction with that number 3 pick when we selected Drake May? Mine, I was home. I was excited. I met him at the airport. I met him at the combine. I went to the combine and
I
whatnot.
saw
I met him
that.
there. Man, he's a cool guy, laid back, big country. He's from down here where I'm at. He caught the flight with me going back to North Carolina. He was literally sitting right in front of me. He got
Yeah.
off because we had a layover in Charlotte, and then he got off at RDU in Raleigh. I saw him twice. And it's funny because when I seen him, I was like, he stood up. We was about to board, so I didn't know that was him until he stood up and he had a gray sweater. I didn't know that was him. I said, I was so shocked I couldn't even say anything. I was
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
my God, this I said this. I said, I'm standing right behind Drake May. Drake May standing in front of me. So I went to the bathroom. I came back. He was already boarding. Nobody, keep in mind, nobody knows him right there. He didn't want a lot of people running up to him and nothing like that. But when I came out, I was like, hey man, how you get a picture? I said, Drake May. I said, hey, hope you come to the Patriots. He was like, yes, sir, yes, sir. Like this before we didn't even know nothing. He was
That's
like, yes, sir. He
awesome.
was like,
That's awesome.
see,
I
yeah,
love that.
he was like, yes, sir, yes. He said, we'll see, we'll see. So and then I remember he had did the interview, said he had a pretty good meeting with the Patriots. But bro, man, I could not believe I met him. Then met him, he sat right in front of me at the airport. I also met the Carolina Panthers head coach David Canellis. He was on the flight with us too, coming back to Charlotte. But Drake May, super cool guy, humble, and he got that country, yeah, accent, man. I love
Yeah.
it, man. I think we hit on the pick. He still got to perform, and in all accounts, what I'm hearing, the mini camp, OTAs, he's been coming on, man. I know when I think the first mini camp practice or something, a lot of people was talking about his footwork and all this stuff. Man, I think Mayo said somebody has a ways to go, and the media just took that and ran. But you notice how a lot of that stuff has been quieted since he's been performing better in camp.
Yep.
The media always reach for the negative stuff; they don't go for the positive stuff. Haven't really heard a lot of stuff about it, but me personally, I think. Oh, but you better. I know I asked you where were you at when we took May. Let's get back on that.
So I was at my house. Me and my family made like a whole day out of it. Like I had school,
That's
but
how it was.
right after school, I got home with my brothers and my uncle, and we just started. Right away started with the mock drafts. We started, looking at rumors who the Pats were really, looking at. And as the night went on, it slowly started to come more definitive that we were going to take May because
Yeah.
Daniels at that point was pretty locked into Washington. So we actually videoed our reaction, and it's a pretty awesome video. We were so nervous before because I wanted no part of McCarthy at all. So
So
when
you
I heard
knew that day we would. When did it fit in that we was going to take Drake May like that day?
it was like 2 hours before the draft, I remember I was scrolling on Instagram. This is right before I made my account. Actually, I saw on Instagram. They were all like, "Oh yeah, like the Pats are like." I remember Schefter said something right before I pick. He's like, "The Pats are gonna go Drake May," and I still wasn't fully relieved
Yeah.
yet, but a lot of stress came off my stomach because that's been my guy for since January on. Like I love that guy. Obviously, everyone out of college has problems. Josh Allen, second best quarterback, top
Yep.
three quarterback in the league right now. He had glaring problems coming out of Wyoming. But Drake May, you know, his upside, in my opinion, is far higher than Daniels. I just think Daniels right now might be a little safer because he's a little older. But
Yeah.
Drake May has so much time to grow, and I love the Brissett signing in front of him. But back to the draft day, yeah, that whole weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I watched the entire thing. I was
I'm never
so
gonna forget
happy.
that was a hell of a weekend, man. I
Yeah,
was like from the combine, then hearing all the media people on YouTube talking about them forget what the Patriots gonna do. Then we started hearing that we was interested in JJ McCarthy. It was like 3 months of just freaking talk, and I was getting tired of it. I
oh
was
yeah,
like,
me too.
I went to the combine, then we had to go through free agency. But this when I knew we was getting them. I'm not gonna lie. Now when we signed Jacob Brissett, I was like, okay, we signed Brissett to a 1 year deal. I said, Brissett's ready to play now, and he knows Van Pelt's system. So, and I remember like, okay, I said, Drake May's not ready to play now. So I started putting the pieces to the puzzle together. Brissett knows the system, and it's looking like Washington, because, like a couple months prior, it was May going to Washington. I heard Washington was going to take May. But then I was like, they already got Sam Howell, and they got rid of Howell. Why are they going to go to another Carolina
Yeah,
quarterback?
yeah.
So I was like, they're probably not going to do that. I said, May's going to be there. Then I started hearing them link to Daniels. And then when Shelton went on the podcast and said, hey, man, you can buy your Jaden Daniels jerseys, they're going to get Jaden Daniels and Washington. I said, Shelton really hasn't been wrong like that. So if Shelton said it, I'm going to go with it. So, and then like I say about a week prior to, I said, then May said he had a pretty good meeting with us. I said, we're going to take Drake May. We're going to take Drake. It made too much sense.
Yeah, my main concern up to that point was just us trading out of the pick. That was just what I was super nervous about.
Yeah.
I did not want to trade out of that. Yeah, that because in my opinion, I don't think we're gonna be top. We're not gonna have the top three pick next year. That's a once in a generation talent. Because like you look at next year's quarterbacks. Carson Beck's probably the top one. He's not even near any of the top three quarterbacks levels that were taken this year. So that's all I would my look at it was why trade out of it. That's a once in, decade, spot you get to pick him for a guy like that. And especially with his upside and what he can bring to the table, I figured you got to take him there. And I just wanted no part of trading the pick at all.
What is it about May that you like? Is it just the size, the arm strength, just the what is it? Because I like how he moves in the pocket. I see
Yeah.
the problems about the footwork, but he's improved that since I've been reading and watching some stuff. He got a cannon of an arm. That don't get
Yeah.
talked about a lot. He has a cannon of an arm. And I just think everybody. I've seen a lot of people say Matt Jones 2.0. This ain't no Matt Jones. Matt Jones played with a loaded team at Alabama. He has 2 wide receivers, a running back, offensive line, good coach. Drake May, I've seen Drake May at his worst at Carolina. In this past season, yeah, he put up good numbers, but that talent, he lost Josh Downs. I think he lost a running back or something like that. Lost a line. Like, I've seen Drake May at his worst, and he still prefer. Drake May has been in messy situations, and he didn't come unravel. He didn't start whining on the side like Matt Jones. He was a professional, and he still would put up good numbers. Now, I went back and watched every throw of his 2022 film and compared to his 2023 film. I know he lost a couple coaches or something, like lost some pieces. But if you go back and watch, whenever you get a chance, I don't know if you've done it. If you go back and watch his 2022, not the highlights, but you can go to YouTube and type in Drake May throw, all Drake May play from 2022. I went and seen that. The ball comes out of his hand much quicker in 22 than it did in 2023. 23, like he got like a long windup, but it's getting there. He put up still good numbers, but I want to know why it wasn't coming out quicker in 22 than not in 23. What happened? So
That is
that's what I'm
interesting.
interested in. Yeah. Because if you go look at it, man, it's coming out it's coming out quick in 2022. But 2023 is coming out like he's doing a little extra stuff. It's still getting there, but it's like he got a little extra with it though.
Yeah, like you've obviously seen how he's comparing Pop to Josh Downs. Like he's like, yeah, he moves like that you can't cover him in a porta potty. And obviously in 2022, Drake had Josh Downs, and he was awesome in North Carolina. I remember I wanted the Pats to take him last year's draft. And I think
Yeah.
Drake, had a little bit more confidence with a guy like him in his system. Devontae Walker was a nice piece in college, but he's nowhere near Josh Downs level in college. He doesn't have great hands. He's streaky sometimes. I think Drake May, he had amazing moments from, both years, but I think 2022 I've seen film from that year. The ball came out way quicker. He looked a lot more confident. He looked more poised. But again, what I love about him, again, what I was gonna bring up, the Mac Jones thing. You can't say that. The only reason you're comparing them is because they both wear number 10. There's literally no similarities after that. Drake May, in much better shape, a lot more athletic. He can probably throw the ball 20 yards farther than Mac, and he is just a completely more. Obviously, he's a project. We talked about that, but you know he's the upside with Mac was his 2021 rookie season. That's the high. That's the best football Mac Jones will play. Drake May's upside is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Mac Jones' upside was never that high, and especially with all the attributes Drake brings, how could you not love the pick?
I'm gonna go back to this comment. Let me find it. We need to be patient with May. He's the real deal. Sports Academy, I completely 100% agree with you. I completely 100% agree with you. I do.
Yep.
We need to be patient with him. We must be patient. Give me one second. I got to charge up my laptop.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
we must be patient with Drake May. I think it's very important that we do be patient with him because we don't want to do him like we did Matt. Now we didn't rush Matt. Matt outright beat Cam Newton out.
He
So
did.
he did that. But we know May has some issues. But like I heard today on a podcast, I know we want to be patient. And I like that comment, Sports Academy. But if we get the training camp here in a couple weeks and he's outright whipping Jacoby Brissett's tail, you gotta play him.
You do.
You have to because if we see it, then the players on the team see it. We have to play him. There's no if it's close, I would go up with Jacoby Brissett just being on the
Yeah,
safe
yeah, I
side.
agree.
But if it's like we get out there and we know we're gonna be hearing stuff on Twitter, Jacoby Brissett threw 3 interceptions. Like if it's terrible, And Drake May, if he's lighting up like he was doing the last couple mini camp practices, I think you have
You
to
have
start
to.
May. You have to, because like, what are we trying to win games or what? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
And what are you?
exactly.
And that defense is going out there fighting their tails off, and you're gonna put like you. I think you have to play May if he's head and shoulders better than Brissett. You have to start May week 1 against Cincinnati because the only way he's gonna learn is by playing.
100%. 100%. Could not agree more. Like, I agree. I also agree with what you said too. If it's close, you start percent because you want to give May another year. But if he's outright beating Jacoby, you don't just play Jacoby just because you want to take your time with
Yeah,
Drake. If Drake is playing better, like much better than Jacoby, and you want to win, which all these pros obviously do, you play Drake May. You don't just play Jacoby to be safe. If he is outright beating Jacoby and he just looks like a far better quarterback, you play that guy. You play Drake May.
Joseph says, can you ask your special guest about Matt Jones post sack mini jog to the sideline? Which game is he talking about? I'm trying
I,
to
I think he's I think he's talking about when Matt got sacked, how like he did like the I don't even I want to remember that. Just his everything about him.
I don't even want to talk about Matt, man. I appreciate the comment, Joseph, but I are you guys nervous about not landing a top notch free agent wide receiver if May doesn't play this year? No, because I think May plays this year. And hey, if you got a quarterback, wide receivers we couldn't get nobody to come this year because they didn't know who the quarterback was going to be.
Yeah.
Haven't really. He didn't want to come Marquise, but like we couldn't get him because I mean, just think about it. If you're a free agent, you want to go where you can win or at least somebody can get you the ball, especially so you can get your money and get your numbers. So Kevin really didn't come because he didn't know the quarterback was going to be. I know Robert Kraft said something about his girlfriend that want to be in the cold weather or something like that. They want to be close down south. I believe that too, but I want to go somewhere where I can get the ball and get my numbers. I mean, I know,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm gonna get paid regardless, but I'm gonna get paid more if I get my numbers. So yeah, if Drake May is the guy, it's a big time free agent class wide receiver next year. Well, yeah, we're gonna get somebody. And listen, we're talking hypotheticals. We might already have a known wide receiver on the field on the team right now. What if Javon Baker is that guy? What if Jalen Polk is that guy?
And they absolutely could be.
We don't know. I think we building our team similarly to how the Green Bay Packers are building their team. They got
Yep.
Romeo Dobbs, Kristen Watson, Dontavion Wicks, Jaden Reed. They
Yep.
got some receivers over there. They don't have a number one guy. I think Elliott Wolf come from Green Bay. We're building it. We're building this team similar to how they're doing.
Yep. That's what a lot of people are saying. And if Drake May could turn out to be like Jordan Love, that'd be a bonus because I love Jordan Love. I think he's
That
awesome.
that would be great, man. And I'm already prepared. My thing is, and I'm sure everybody in the chat agree. I just don't want the Boston media to kill the kid. That's it.
That
Because the
is
first time he throws an interception or he fumbles, or you already know how that Boston media is. You live up that way. That Boston media can
awful.
be cruel. I don't want the Boston media to kill him. He's a rookie. He's going to have a game where he throws 2 interceptions. He might even have a game where he throws 3 interceptions. Look at Peyton Manning. His rookie year was awful.
Horrible.
Look at his
Horrible.
career now. So I just don't want the Boston media to kill the kid because
That's such a
that
great
Boston
point.
media is crazy.
That's such a good point. That's like it's unfortunate that we have to bring that up, but it's true because one little thing that he does wrong, people are gonna nitpick him for. But if he does something right, those people don't like to say anything. They won't
Yeah.
compliment him. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just kind
Real
of
quick, I do want to go back to Matt Jones right quick. On the Matt Jones thing, do you think okay, and I already have my opinion. Do you think that we did him a disservice by not putting pieces around him? Or do you think even if let's just say we signed DeAndre Hopkins last year, we went out and got him a no wide receiver in the draft. What if he had a star-studded wide receiver group, good tight? He had an Alabama talent around him. How good do you think Matt Jones would have been? Or do you think like it still wouldn't have been there? Because I would have loved to see if we would have kept him and drafted like a Marvin Harrison or something like just to see how I would love to see it because he didn't have top talent, but I don't think physically Matt had it either though. I think we could have had some of the best wide receivers, the best supporting core, but I still don't think Matt Jones would have got us too far. So how do you feel? Do you think it was Belichick's fault? Why Belichick and Patricia fault? Why Matt Jones failed? Or do you think like even if he had top talent, he still wouldn't have been that good?
Well, I do think that before I even get to Mac, the Patricia thing was a like disaster. That was ridiculous. But this is my thoughts on Mac. If you have a receiving core like you're talking about with healthy D Hop, Marvin Harrison, and let's just say we signed like a Tyler Boyd or something like a solid three, and you got like a solid receiving core built. If the initial read is there, Mac can make the throw 75% of the time. The problem is, as soon as the play breaks down and you need him to make that extra, extra step out of the pocket or make that extra, read, he can't do it. And,
Mm.
he fumbles, he gets nervous, he throws up these ducks and they get intercepted. That's his problem. I remember the game against the Colts, we were talking about it. He had Mike Gesicki wide open in the end zone. And as soon as DeForest Buckner and the D line came after him, he underthrew it. He backed off when he threw it. Oh, it was 10 yards short. So again, if the initial read is there and the O line is playing fabulous, he can lead a good receiving core to maybe a wild card record because I think he can.
Kind of like his rookie year.
Yeah, a little bit. And I also just don't. Yeah, and I thought McDaniels did a very good job that year. He kind of got the most out of everything, but you
What
know,
what was the last straw with Matt Jones for you? Mine was, oh
that's a
man.
really good question.
I think league wide, Patriots fans probably the last straw. Y'all can drop y'all comment in the chat. What was y'all last straw with Matt Jones? Drop that in the chat. I think Patriot fans probably was that Colts game. That was the last straw. Mine was actually the Raiders game. When Devontae Parker dropped that pass. Because like I
Oh,
said, I was at the Cowboys game, and that was a bad. That wasn't my last. Because then he came back next week. He was awful against the Saints, but it was that Raiders game, and not the one a couple years ago when he did the crazy mass and he got stiff on my chin. Not that one. It was this game. He was going to, and I remember I was sitting on my living room couch. He was Hunter Henry was wide open. Matt Jones rolling right. And he threw the ball cross. He overthrew Hunter Henry with an interception.
yep.
Right then, I said, I am done. I put my jersey in the trash can. I still got it back in the bag. I said, I am done. I am done with Matt. Somebody said when he was drafted. I said, I am done. I am done with Matt Jones. I can't take it no more. I gotta find somebody that I can take because I still got number 10 on it. I could just put May on it. But bro, that
So
was my final straw.
so this is mine. So beginning of last year, I was kind of already, I was Mac's biggest supporter because I'm just a Pats fan. I wanted him to do good. I wanted him to succeed. Um, he had a great game against the Eagles week one after those first couple drives. He played really well.
Mhm.
And then he was pretty good against. I mean, he was decent against Miami. I think after week two, Mac was like top seven in passing yards and like passing attempts or something like that. And week three, we had that win against the Jets when Farrell Brown had like that 80-yard touchdown. So I'm like, okay. And then we played Dallas, and that was a disaster. Threw across field, and I'm like, all right. That was bad, but Dallas has a great defense. Mac's not built for games like that, so whatever. I'm like, I'm giving him one more chance.
And then we played the
The
Saints.
the Saints game was my line. When he threw that pick six to Tyrann Mathieu, I'm like, that's it. I was
Yeah.
sitting with my family in the living room, and I looked. My dad was already out on him, and I was trying to stick up for him. Soon as that happened, I looked at him like, yeah,
Man, I was running out of excuses for him. I
Oh,
mean,
I had so many excuses for him at that point. I'm like, I got nothing to say. I got
you remember
nothing.
that Giants game? He threw a couple interceptions, a couple horrible interceptions. The
Yeah,
The Commanders game, I actually thought that probably one of his better games of the season. Couple drops, like now the receivers didn't do him no favors, but it was just at that point, I think everybody just gave up. They were like, "Man, we can't win with this damn guy."
I still had hope in that Commanders game. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we're 2-6. You got to win. You're 3-6. And when Juju dropped that ball, went through his hands, and I think Forbes intercepted it. I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Sports Academy, do you see the Patriots making a red trade before the deadline? If we are in a playoff spot, I definitely can see it. It depends on what we need. Maybe for like let's see, maybe a wide receiver, something like that. We can see. I actually feel good about wide receivers, man. We're gonna get into a 53-minute roster here shortly, but I actually feel good about the wide receivers, man. I really do. So we're gonna see, man. I think the main thing is just gotta stay healthy. Gotta stay healthy. So we definitely gonna see. Let's see, Joseph. That's such a good point, Ken, because our media and a good chunk of fans are so negative and they just waiting to pounce on Drake. Completely agree.
Yep.
Oh my God, can 100% right about the media in Boston. Oh no, that Colts play. Yep. Let me see. Let me see. Got more comment. When he was drafted, I guess he's saying when that was his final straw with Matt Jones when he was drafted.
That
Oh,
wow.
well. All kidding aside, he wasn't humble enough. Agreed. It was a big
No.
part. I don't. He didn't have the intangibles to me.
No.
He was pouting on the sideline. I mean, you ain't earned anything to be pouting like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that was just ridiculous. Let me see. Give me one sec. Trying to get these comments. Uh, say, oh my God, you guys are too funny. Can you just keep telling story? Appreciate it. Sports Academy. Drake is a humble, hardworking Southern kid with older brothers. So being the youngest in his family, he probably was roughed up by it. But yeah,
His brothers are athletes too.
man, Drake
Like
May got me saying yeah sometimes. He got me saying it, man. I say it a lot, man. I get it from Drake. Drake says a kid, so I talk. Pretty sure I love when he says that though, man.
yeah, he's
I
got that
lo-
southern accent. It's
He'd be like,
funny.
yeah. But yeah, hey man, hey, it's none of y'all in here. I appreciate it, man. Hey, hit the like button, share the content. Please hit the like button on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Now it's time to get to some fun. You got your 53 man roster. Let everybody know about it. What's going on with it?
I do have it. All right, so I'll go position by position. You let me know how you feel about that. So we'll start from the top. Start with the QBs. I got us carrying three. I think one of them will be an emergency, but we'll see. So I got Brissett, May, and Milton. I think Zappy's done. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna get completely. He's completely
I
outmatched.
seen the day he got married or engaged or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
saw
So
that. But I as your third quarterback, wouldn't you just so much rather carry a guy with so much more potential than a guy that can throw the ball like 40 yards? Milton. I'd rather Milton come in. Like God forbid, May and Brissett both get hurt, which is not going to happen. But much rather Milton come into a game than Zappy. I just think it just gives you a more exciting reason to watch, and Zappy's just whatever. So those are the quarterbacks I have making the final 53. Here are my running backs. So I have Mondre, obviously. I have Gibson, and I have Kevin Harris. And I was kind of on the fence about a fourth one with Deshaun Fenwick, the
I like
offense.
him. I like him.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of on the fence with him, and so I figured, I think week one you maybe can carry a younger guy with potential. I've watched film on him, and he's older too, so he's kind of ready at this point. Um, I liked him a lot, so I figured, you know what, why not carry a young guy like that? Learn from the other two above him. But I think Stevenson's gonna have a huge year. People forget about him. He
Yeah.
is he is
He
awesome when he's
slimmed up. He
healthy.
slimmed down a little bit too.
He does look good. He does
Yeah.
look good. So, all right, my receivers, I have on this. I have Bourne on the PUP just because
Yeah.
I think that's so. I won't say him right now. Obviously, he's gonna make it when he's healthy. But I got Douglas, Polk, Baker, Osborne, Butte, and Rager. I don't think Juju's making this team. And Taekwon is just so outmatched. I think Juju, if he has a really good training camp and he plays well in the preseason, can maybe beat out Rager. But I just think Rager gives you more on special teams. Juju can't return kicks. That's just not him. So if you're looking for just that aspect, then that's what Jalen Rager's there for. And I think Butte gives you more upside than Juju. And Juju's knees, man, he's only like 27 years old, but he is their shot. So those are the receivers I have making the final 53. And again, if Juju makes it, I'm not super shocked. But, I'd rather take the younger guys that are less injury prone, more upside, can give you more all over the field. Um, my tight ends, I got us carrying all three: Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, and Jaheim Bell. Told you this. Jaheim Bell is one of my guys this year. I had him in my final Patriots mock draft. I think he can turn into almost like a Kyle Juszczyk player a little bit. Kind of line up in the backfield a little bit. So I'm looking forward to watching him. And obviously Hunter Henry's as safe as they get. And Austin Hooper has had a very solid NFL career. And then guard, same thing. Cole Strange, PUP, unfortunately. Um, so I got us carrying. We got a very young guard group for sure. So I got us carrying City Sal, Layden Robinson, Antonio Maffi, and Nick Leverett, the kid we signed from Tampa. I love City Sal, and I really liked Layden Robinson from Texas A&M, who I also had the Pats taking in my final mock.
Okay.
So that's our guard group again, really young and unproven. So we're gonna have to see how they play out this year. We don't really have that veteran presence there. I guess you can call Cole Strange a veteran, but he's gonna be on the PUP for at least the first 4 weeks, unfortunately. Um, Tackles, another position people like to talk about with us. I have Micah Wenu as a tackle on this. I don't know if he's necessarily gonna play there because people are saying he can maybe go back to right
Yeah, I
guard.
seen that.
Yeah. So I have Okafor, Owenu, Wallace, and Calvin Anderson. Those are the four tackles that I'm making the team. I think Calvin Anderson is, I think he's outmatched there. Caden Wallace, he kind of got outshined by Olu Fashanu because, he was a top 11 pick in the draft. But the stat I love to look at, I've talked about this many times, he didn't let up a single pressure against Aiden Hutchinson when he was on Michigan. And, I think Wallace has the potential to be just as good as any of the tackles in the NFL. I really like that kid a lot. And then we'll see with the other one. Okafor maybe can step up. If Owenu plays obvious tackle, he'll obviously start there. So we'll see with that. Centers, I only got us carrying two, David Andrews and Jake Andrews. Those are the
Yeah,
two clear cut ones, which is pretty ironic. But yeah, I think David Andrews is still a very, very, very solid center. And I think Jake Andrews, just another year learned under a veteran, is only going to help him.
that's it.
Yeah. Our DNs, we only have like two listed DNs on our team, technically, which is Wise and Keon White, and they're obviously both going to make the team. Not really much to say there. I really, you touched upon this. I
Keon,
really
yeah.
hope Keon White takes that second step because that guy is built like a monster. He could really be great. He just, and what he said about Belichick, that does kind of stink what he said, but I think he's ready to thrive under Mayo for sure. um, Defensive tackles was kind of tough. Like we talked about this too. I have Barmore, Godshaw, Uquale, Armin Watts, Sam Roberts, and Jeremiah Farms Jr. I think we carry six defensive tackles. You know, Farms Jr. He's been with us for a little bit. Same with Sam Roberts. I've always liked Daniel Uquale. I think he's a solid player. I actually think he had a better season when he played last year than
I
Devon
like him.
Godshaw.
Very
I don't
underrated so far.
I don't think Devon Godshot was very good last year. I thought Uquale actually played better when he did get the opportunity. I'm obviously hoping for the best for Godshot. It's a big year for him contract wise if we do re-sign him or if he leaves in free agency next year. And then Watts, we'll see with him. I think he's a good depth piece if someone goes down. And then Roberts and Farms, just they're there just in case injury. Uh our linebackers are probably our deepest position. We have really good
Yeah.
linebackers. Bentley, Tavai, Taki,
I
Judon.
can't wait to see Taki Taki.
Oh, I love him.
I
Him
think
and
he's gonna be better than Mac Wilson.
oh, I agree. I loved him on Cleveland. I think he's awesome. Yeah, I've liked him for a while. Judon Uche and Anthony Jennings. That's a really deep group. All six of those guys are gonna see consistent snaps every single game. Um, even Anthony Jennings, like when Judon was out, he was better than Josh Uche last year
Yeah.
for a stint. So and again, I love Uche when he has that number one edge rusher in front of him.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He had 11 and a half or 12 sacks the year
Yep.
before last year, when Judon was healthy. And he thrived when he gets that attention taken away from him. So I'm excited to see him. And it's a big year for him too. He's also in a contract year because we only signed him to 1 year. Um, our cornerbacks, which is another pretty deep group,
I can't
Gonzalez.
wait to see this in the wide receiver position. I cannot wait to see this. I can't wait to see the cornerback versus the wide receiver matchup. Picture Christian Gonzalez going up against Javon Baker. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, yeah. So I have Gonzalez, Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones, Alex Austin, who I absolutely love, Marcellus Dial, and Isaiah Bolden. I have Bolden making it.
Okay.
I actually so I went to a lot of the training camps last year too. He had a very good camp.
Who Bowden?
Um, yeah, he played. He did really well.
Is he big?
I think he's probably like he's definitely like over 6 feet. I'm gonna say he's probably 6'1".
Kind of
Um,
long, ain't he?
yeah, he was really good at Jackson State. Deion Sanders had nothing but good things to say about him. I think he'll make the cut. I love Alex Austin. I loved him. I remember that one interception he had against the Bills last year, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I was super happy about that. And then Gonzalez, no one talks about him. Gonzalez is going to be a top 10 cornerback in the league,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's after this year or maybe it takes a
Well,
little
hey, we're
time.
gonna see early. You got Jamar Chase week 1.
Oh yeah, and then we got DK week 2, but nothing comes easy for a guy like that because you got to be on the one all the time unless they want to do the Belichick where they double the one with the
Yep.
with the two guy and the safety, and then they put the one. They put our CB1 on their wide receiver too. So, but even T Higgins is still a pretty tough matchup, anyways. And then safeties.
Well, what
Uh,
about Marco Wilson? Did you have him making it?
I don't have him making it. No, unfortunately, I don't mind him, but I was torn between Bolden, Wade, and Wilson,
Because
and
Dow's gonna make it. Marcellus Dow, he'll make it.
yeah. I There's no way because draft picks usually make it their first year
Yeah.
unless they literally have a horrible camp. But um, Bolden, Wilson, and Wade to me are all like guys that they'll fill in a little bit. Again, this is mine. You can totally disagree with me, like for sure. Wade, if Wade or Wilson made it over Bolden, it absolutely would not surprise me at all. That's just who I think initially. But again, after I go to training camp and really watch, that'll give me a better insight on it. And then safeties, I have Duggar, Peppers, and Mapu. Those are really only the three guys that we have on our roster. And I love that group. They're all
I want to see what
physical.
we do. I want us to play Mapu at linebacker. I want him to find a position for him and just keep him there, see what he can do. I want to see what he does at linebacker.
I loved Mapu out of Sacramento State. He had moments last year, like that game. He played really well against the Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
He played really well that game. And then special teams. I know it's special teams. I think this is pretty interesting. I don't think Ryland's gonna make it. I have Joey
Mm.
Sly, just a veteran, solid kicker.
Or maybe we
Um,
sign a kicker late in camp or something like that.
or maybe that always happens. And then Behringer and Cardona, and that's my initial 53 man right there.
I like it, man. I haven't had a chance to do mine. We got a while to the season start. I'll probably put one out on my page and I'll tell you when by the time training camp gets started though. But I like that, man. I do want to see the Fenwick. I want to see him in training camp in the preseason. I want to see
Yep,
the Sean Fenwick, the running back. Kevin Harris, he's had a lot of opportunities past couple years, but really hasn't done a lot. He's on the hot seat. But I
he
think
is.
if Sean Fenwick and Jermichael Hasty, did you have him
Ye-
making it?
I didn't have him making it, but
Okay.
Jamichael Hasty is like I think the problem with Hasty is he's kind of the same player as Gibson, but
Yeah.
Gibson's just way more talented than him. So I don't really, I just didn't have him making it just because they're very similar players.
All right.
And then Fenwick can kind of do a little bit of everything.
I like
Obviously,
I
not
like
a,
him. He with the Oregon State, I believe. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
him. So
So we'll see, man. We'll see.
I like that, man. Let's go back to these comments. Joseph said, "Ken, have you seen Matt Jones smacking those animal balloons around in Jacksonville?" I have not seen that. So
It's like
haven't
the,
seen.
I think he's talking about those running back drills that he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Congratulations on getting married. Now pack your stuff up and go. It's Buddy Zach.
yeah. That's
Oh
funny.
my God. Ken is Jacoby starting quarterback in game one no matter what, or is there possibly Drake? I think, like I said before, if Drake is heads and shoulders above Jacoby Brissett, you got to start him. You got to play him. Don't sit him just because he got to sit. If he's better, and the main thing is the players, the receiver. They were like, hey man, we like how this ball coming out from Drake May, but Brissett, I don't. If the players are telling you, then you know they're gonna go with the players. So
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
yeah, that's my theory on that. Let me see. Get to this next comment. And Ken, I love the Kobe post in your background. Terrible tragedy. He was one of great. Yes, I mean, the Black Mama, man. I love me some Kobe. Appreciate it. Diane, wow, solid content. Love the positivity too. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's see. We got a lot of comments here. I feel like our wide receivers are still lacking. What do you guys think is reasonable projection for Pope? Do you guys? I'm gonna say, what happened? Do you guys have a comp? My comp for him is Robert Woods. Right, that's my comp for Jalen Pope. I
I
think
like that.
I don't know what a 1,000 yard receiver year one, but I think he can be what Pop did last year. I think he can be somewhere around there because you got to think about it. We don't have a number one right now, so we're gonna spread the ball around. Pope, Pop, Bourne, Baker. So I don't think we're gonna have might not even have a 1,000-yard receiver. So, but I think they are. I think this is a good core because basically Pope is essentially taking over for Juju Smith-Schuster, and Javon Baker is taking over for Devontae Parker. Pop still gonna get his snaps. Let's Kendrick Bourne. Let's see. So basically, you're supplementing Jalen Pope for Juju, Javon Baker for Devontae Parker. Taquan Thornton probably not gonna make the team. So KJ Osborne for Thornton. Bourne still gonna be Bourne. He gonna get his regular snaps and Pop Douglas.
You're
So
upgrading there. I absolutely hated Devontae Parker.
yeah,
I did not
I
like
think
him.
that's an upgrade because you got youth and you got more explosiveness. So I think it can't be nowhere. I think it's an upgrade, and we might be sitting here at the end of the year like, hey, we might got a number one wide receiver in Baker. We got a good number two and Pop or Pope, and then and then you can still throw in Bourne and a KJ Osborne. I think we got a pretty decent core.
My comp for Polk, just real quick. It's kind of a basic one, but I just see so much Keenan Allen in him, man. Like he
That's good.
you look at him, he's not like super explosive, which
Not
obviously
flashy,
you
yeah.
don't see in Keenan Allen either. But he's gonna be such a safe option once he starts getting more involved in the game. Takes consistent snaps, which I think he's gonna ran out of the gate actually.
I mean, like we talked pre-show, if you got if Baker live up to what we think he can be as a fourth round receiver, you got Pope, you got Pop in the slot, you got a nice little nucleus, right? You got a nice little core right there. I'm telling you now, I don't think the league is very underrated in our core. I really feel like if we can get the most peak at all these players, Pope, peak Baker, peak, and we already see what Pop can do, and he missed a couple games. If everybody stay healthy, I like this core, man. And then we didn't mention Jaheim Bell. Like he's an
Yep.
X factor too. I think he's a steal at 7th round pick.
I was so happy when we got him.
See, excellent breakdown, Matt. Turns out now he obviously did his homework. Yes, sir, man. It's been a pleasure having him on, man.
Thank you.
What's up with the Pat schedule last 2 years? Bad luck, timing, or the league screwing us? I think it's a little bit of both. I would like, and I'm glad this is a good one, Joseph. I think the last couple of years we've lost game one. I would like to see us get off to a quicker start. Last year we should have beat Philly. Year before that we went to Miami. Should have won that game. A couple bad balls. Year before that, Matt Jones rookie year. Damian Harris fumbled. We could have won that game. So we've had bad luck last. I want to see us get out to a good start. Man, I think we ain't gonna pick the game right now, but I think we could upset Cincinnati week one. I think
Exactly. We'll dive into the schedule, and
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Let's see, Joe. I never thought more about special teams than I did the last 2 years. Everything looked difficult for us. Last year, man, it was like pulling teeth doing anything last year. And when Bailey Zappi came in, he looked so good because Matt Jones was so bad. The bar was so low. It was a low bar.
Yeah, it was. And right, yeah.
Ken, where are you from? From North Carolina Sports Academy. North Carolina, born and raised. Love Woods, Robert Woods. Let's see.
Yeah, Robert Woods' prime. Like right now, he's kind of whatever, but his prime, he was really good.
Can Juju get back to his level of competition from the Steelers days? Hey, when my boy Matt got a Juju Smith jersey on, so I'm gonna get that comment. I'm gonna get that question to him.
Unfortunately, I don't think so. In Pittsburgh, he thrived under Antonio Brown's presence there because Antonio Brown was still in his prime, and Juju thrived under being a two, and then a couple years ago with the Chiefs, he had Patrick Mahomes. So anyone's going to be good under Mahomes. And Juju was the best receiver in the Chiefs system. So someone's got to have at least a solid year. That was before they got Rice. So, I remember a couple reports came out mid-season last year, and they're like, Juju's knees are literally about to explode.
And then he tried to downplay it or whatnot. And then he came out this offseason, oh, yeah, I was only 60%. Oh, now you want to say that after you had a bad season? Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Like if he had a 1,200-yard season, he would not have said that. He was just saying it just to stick up for himself because he had a horrible.
Do you remember the stinking stunt comments from Mike Girardi last year, man? He was a Patriot report. He was talking about the Patriots wide receivers. Said they stink. He said stink and stuff.
Yeah. I did see that. I'm a fan of Girardi. Actually, I see him on Twitter all the time.
What's up, Ken Eagles Playbook Podcast? What's up, man? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Who did y'all draft for quarterback? Where you been, man? Been up on our rock. We took Drake May. Well, he been paying attention to them Eagles, I guess. Yeah, we took Drake May, man. Well, he comments lowest win projection in the league. What do you guys think of that? I think we're gonna exceed that. I think we're gonna win. Like I told Matt pre-show, we're not winning the Super Bowl this year. We're not going to get to the AFC Championship game this year. We're not probably not going to win the division this year. Temper the expectations. Be realistic. My expectation would be win anything more than 4 is good. If we win 6 or 7 games, I'll preferably 7 games. We're tough out for a lot of these teams. Maybe we fight for a playoff spot late. So 7 wins, and we're being competitive. And you see the growth. This year is about growth and development. If you win 7 games, you see growth and development. You got your quarterback. And then next year, guess what? We got the most cap space in the league. We got a lot of cap. So now next year, you go out and get your number 1 wide receiver. You go get your tackle or something like that, add a piece on defense. We're going to have a lot of money next year. So I think next year, we can make a move like the Titans did this year. They went out and got Calvin Ridley. Went out and did they got Snead from the Chiefs, Tony Pollard. I think next year we can be the Titans going out signing a lot of players, giving some money to some big time players. I think we're gonna make that big leap next year. Not this year. I see what we got right now, but I think next year go out and make a trade for a CD Lamb or a T Higgins or something like that. Next year we're gonna make that big fish leap next year. I think.
Yeah, our main goal this offseason was to maintain all of our main guys from the roster last year, which we did. We signed all the guys that we needed to, and then we let go of a few guys that weren't as big of deals. But again, like last year, we had to stress out about getting the top 3 pick because we needed a quarterback. But because like last year, if we won 6 or 7 games, that would have sucked. But if we win 6 or 7 games next year, we don't need a quarterback in the draft. So it's not like we're praying for a top 5 pick. I'm happy if we win 6 or 7 games. Then you just take the best player available at that position, whether it's a lineman or a receiver, and you're not worrying too much about oh, we gotta get a top 3 pick. We gotta get May. We gotta get Daniels because that's what we were all worrying about last year. We were all rooting for that pick because we were desperate for a quarterback. But next year, that's not the case.
Eagles paper, how y'all give us Parker just for him to retire? Man,
It's better that he retired.
Parker been done about 3 years ago, man.
It's better for you that he retired.
I actually think Javon Baker can be a rookie Devon. He could be a younger Devontae Parker. Remember
Devontae Parker
first,
when he was
when he first came out in the first couple years in Miami before they hit, like he was raw. He was nice. I think that's what Baker gonna be for us. Love that you're a Pats fan, came from NC. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Let's see. LO at Eagles play. Let's see. I appreciate hey, if y'all just checking in, hit the like button on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, IG, LinkedIn, I'm all over. Make sure you share the content. But if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Give me that thumbs up, man. I really appreciate it. If y'all want to support the channel, Cash App is down there. Y'all can support the channel as well too. Make sure you follow me on IG and follow me on Twitter too. I appreciate y'all, man. Give me one. Let me see. Ken Well said about growth and development. Yeah, this year's all about growth and development, man. We're not winning Super Bowl. This year's all about growth and development.
Yeah, it's my main thing about this year.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
growth.
care about the win. I want us to win at least about. I want us to win more. Now, don't go out there and lay egg every week. But I want us to win at least about 6. If we win 6 or 7 games, I'm happy. And we see growth, and we got our quarterback, and we got money to spend next year. Hey, the future is bright. I'm happy because guess what? In a couple of years, Buffalo already start rebuilding.
Oh,
Miami got to pay Tua, and they got a couple other pieces they got to pay. And then the Jets, Rodgers, he can leave anytime. We know how he is. So the future is really bright. We just got to continue to draft well. The future is bright. Within about a couple of years, we can be the cross of that division. It might even happen. And then we always know these guys, these experts come out every year and say, yeah, well, this is where everybody's ranked at. Injuries happen. Sometimes teams, like your schedule looks tough, but when you play, it's really not that bad. You know what I mean? So week 1, nobody knows what nobody's going to be. Nobody knows nothing. You really don't know your team until about a month into the season.
Yeah.
I really think now I think the success for the Patriots might not show up in the win column this year, but I think on the field is really going to show. I really think
exactly.
we're going to be a much better team this year. I can feel it. Let me see. Wow, CD would be unreal. I love me some CD Lamb.
CD's my favorite player. I don't like the Cowboys, but CD is my favorite
I
player.
mean, I love me some CD, boy. Lamb, oh my God, I just fainted for him. Well, without be, hey man, I slammed that guy, legit top 3 wide receiver in the league,
Yep.
yes sir. And
Yep.
we ain't had a top wide receiver, and I don't know when.
Randy Moss, baby.
And that's been whoa, man. And Julian Edelman was a number one, but he was Tom Brady number one. He wasn't. I don't think he was a league wide number one.
No, no, yeah, no. He
Your
wasn't
number
a
one guy lines up on that outside. He can line up everywhere. Tom Brady made Edelman really good. Now I'm telling you, he was the
yeah.
Patriots number one, but he wasn't a league wide number one.
Nope.
He cooked James Burberry last season on week 1 though. Get them likes up, yes sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. How your Eagles doing? We'll share and support Ken for sure. Yes sir. Appreciate it.
Let's
What he
go.
I appreciate y'all tonight, man. Ken, I'm going to spread the word. You're awesome, bro. Appreciate it, man. All right, sports guy. I might be crazy, but I see 9 or maybe. Hey, I hope so. I hope so. You never know. Hey, one thing too before we get off for a night. Last year around this time, the Houston Texans were a laughing stock.
Yes,
it was a laughing
exactly.
stock. Nobody. Now I'm not trying to compare our situation to them, man. They hit on their quarterback and they drafted well. Who in the heck thought the Texans would we be talking about? We're talking about the Texans as Super Bowl contenders right now. Who was talking about the Texans last year? Nobody had them in the playoffs or anything. The Texans were a laughing stock last year around this time before CJ Stroud even played a snap. They were a laughing stock. So you can't tell me that can't happen to the Patriots. Our defense, we're rebuilding on offense. We're not rebuilding on defense. The defense is ready to compete right now. You cannot tell me if the offense could just be that we ain't got to have a top 5. We don't got to have a top. We don't have to have a top 10 offense. We don't even have to have a top 15 offense. We can have a top 20 offense, an average offense. With that defense, and we stay healthy, that's going to give us a couple more games. We can win. If we split it, we split with division. So beat Buffalo, beat Miami, beat split. That's 3 wins right there. We got a couple gimme games. And then we go probably upset somebody. They give you about 8 or 9 wins right there. You never know. I'm telling you, it was games that the Texans won last year. I do not think that they would win. I think they beat Cincinnati and Cincinnati. Yep. I do not think they were going to do that. Like, the Texans were a laughing stock around this time last year.
Our defense is in a better position than theirs was last year.
Much better. Gonzo come back, Judo come back, and we had a lot of 1-score games last year. If we can just be an average we weren't even average last year. We was a laughing stock. If we can just be an average offense, I'm telling you, that's going to give us a couple wins right there. Exactly. Now, I do think the defense going to take a little step back because of without Belichick, but at the same time, like, bro, I think the offense is really. I think offense is going to be much better. I really believe that.
Yeah, our offense was not only a laughing stock. It wasn't even watchable. Honestly, it wasn't. And it's like you said, we don't have to have this top 5 offense next year. We're a young team. If we just have a top 20 offense and our defense still continues to play the way that they've been playing these last couple of years, you're winning 8 games right there. That's an 8-win season. That's how teams win. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they made the playoffs last year. They had Kenny Pickett at quarterback. They won games like 10-6, and they went like 10-7. We beat them. That was our best offensive game since like week 1, and they still made the playoffs. You don't have to be perfect. The defense is great. We all know this. The offense just has to be average, and you're right there.
Yep. Hey, man, we will see. Solid point in the end. Let me see. You guys were awesome. You guys been a great team. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yes, Matt, Sports Academy. Sports Academy. If we upset Cincinnati game, we definitely win 10. Hey, we're going to see, man. Hey,
I like it.
That's going to be it for tonight, man. Matt, Patriot status, you were great, man. I do want to let the crowd know we probably going to be back tomorrow night and Wednesday night. This probably going to be a regular with me and Matt doing a couple shows during the week. Man, it's my first time having them on tonight. Boy, you did great. Some great insight. You let them know a lot of stuff I didn't even know, and vice versa, whatnot. The fans, you brought a lot of fans with you. They cheered you on and whatnot. We're just gonna be a regular for. We'll try to do this a couple of times a week for about 30 minutes. We went a little old boy tonight, but that's okay. I love the comments.
Yeah.
Love the comment. That's okay, man. We just talking some Pat's ball. I appreciate it, man. Hey, my YouTube is down at the bottom. Make sure you subscribe. Twitter, follow me on IG. Cash App down if you want to support the channel on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. I appreciate it. There's a bunch of y'all in here tonight. Matt, let everybody know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, you guys can find me right there. Patriot status on Instagram. We're still trying to grow. Ken, thank you so much for having me on. It was a blast. I can't wait to make this a regular thing. And make sure you guys subscribe to Ken. At like you cannot leave this video without subscribing to Ken, man. He is awesome. So
Yes,
make sure
sir.
you like it and subscribe to him. And yeah, you can follow me at Patriot status right there.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Hey, y'all have a good one. And hey, go Pats.
Go Pats, baby.